Thank you for joining us today. My name is Tracy Watts, and I'm the Director of the Office of Community Development, Local Government Assistance. And today we're going to be talking about the Local Government Assistance Program and the Community Water Enrichment Fund. So these are the items we're going to go over: the dates the online portal is open, the requirements of each program, the grant ceilings and per parish allocation for each program, items that you need to remember when you're completing your applications, the process that you actually have to follow, any required information or documentation that you need to attach to your application, how to access the online portal. I'll give you the contact information for the persons that work on the program here in our office. And then finally, we're going to do a demonstration of the online portal in the development mode. So the online portal is going to be open for submittals from November 1st, 2025 to November 1st, 2024 to February 28th, 2025. The portal is going to close at 4 p.m. on February 28th, 2025, and no applications will be accepted after the portal is closed. The portal will actually open on November 1st, 2024 at 7:30 in the morning. It's extremely important that you don't wait until 3:30 on February 28th, 2025 to begin creating your applications or trying to access the system for the first time. You may not be able to complete your application by the 4 p.m. close time. And if you can't submit it within the period that the portal is open, we will not be able to consider your application. The Local Government Assistance Program is used to provide financial assistance to local governments in rural areas. And the per parish allocation for 24-25 LGAP is $300,000. This is a list of the eligible as well as the ineligible activities for the program. If you are unsure at all about whether your proposed project is eligible, please contact us and let us discuss it with you. If you submit an application for an activity that is ineligible, we will have to deny that application. We do not give you the opportunity to change your project after your application has been submitted. So it's important for you to have those discussions with us prior to the application being submitted so that if you need to change your activity, you can do so. The Community Water Enrichment Fund is used to provide financial assistance to local governments solely for the purpose of potable water improvements. Again, that is for potable water improvements. It is not for sewer or wastewater. The per parish allocation for 24-25 is $350,000. Here is a list of the eligible activities and the ineligible activities. It's important to note that generators are not an eligible purchase, and chemicals also is not an eligible purchase. Also remember, this does not include sewer or wastewater items. If you submit a Community Water Enrichment Fund application for sewer improvements, we will have to deny it and you will not be able to change your project. Eligible applicants to the program. Our published rules say that all municipalities and parishes within the state of Louisiana that are identified by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development as a non-entitlement community are eligible to apply for assistance. So here is a list of those communities or governments that are not eligible for the 24-25 program year. The cities that are listed here are ineligible, as well as the parishes. There are 2 urban parishes in the state, Jefferson Parish and St. Tammany Parish. Any municipality that is located in any of those parishes are not eligible to the program. Grant ceilings for both LGAP and CWEF remain unchanged. The maximum grant ceiling amounts are based on your population ranges. Villages, you can apply for up to 25,000, towns up to 35,000, cities up to 50,000, and parishes are eligible to apply up to 100,000. If the parish's incorporated communities combined maximum ceilings are less than the allocation for the entire parish area, then the parish can apply for more than the 100,000. We encourage you all to communicate with each other and coordinate so that you can ensure that you are applying for the maximum amount of funds available for your parish. We also encourage all of you to apply for the maximum amount that is available to you. Important notes that we wanted to bring to your attention. LGAP and CWEF monies cannot be spent on improvements to private property. That is not allowed. A local government can only have 2 open grants at one time in each program. While a local government can submit an application, we cannot make an award to you until one of those 2 grants have been closed. If we are preparing an award and we note that you have 2 open grants, then we will send you a letter telling you that we have an award for you. However, we can't make it until one of those grants are closed out, and we will give you 6 months from the date of that letter to do so. If that deficiency is not remedied within that 6 months, then we will deobligate those funds and put them back into the pool for the entire state. All required documentation must be included in the portal before the application can be submitted for review. As the application is being completed, we encourage you to click Save regularly to ensure that all your work is being saved in the portal. For those of you that work with portals regularly, you know that there are times when they time out and maybe some of your data is not getting saved. So we encourage you to click Save, which is a button that you can click at the bottom of the screen throughout your process. And we'll show you that when we demonstrate the portal. A recording of this presentation will be linked on our website, so you can go back and watch it again or check information if you need to do so at a later time. And even though you may not be able to access the portal immediately, you should start gathering the documentation that you need to submit in the portal. Don't wait until the last minute, again, because you may not be able to get everything done on time. Once you've decided on what you want to apply for, go ahead and request those support letters from your legislators and get your resolution from your local governing body. Don't wait. So the process goes like this. Eligible local governments request user access to the online application portal. You do so by completing the request form and emailing them to me at tracy.watts@la.gov. We will process those forms and email the user ID to the email address that is identified on the user access form. The user will then access the online portal to create and submit the application. Any user that previously gained access to the online portal will still have access now. There's no need to request access again if you had access previously. This is a list of the required documentation. Applications cannot be submitted for review in the portal until all required information or documentation is included. You'll need to enter the population of your district, your House and Senate district number, the estimated number of citizens that will benefit from your proposed project, the budget of your proposed project, including any funding sources for other funds that will be used with the LGAP or CWEF funding to complete your project, a project description, a resolution of support from the local governing body for the application, signed local government assurances. That is something you will download from the online portal, which I'll show you when we demonstrate the portal. And then your support letters from your House and your Senate member. This is the user access form. We've made a little bit of change to, or a couple of changes to the form from previous years. Many of you have probably noticed that all of our processes are going electronic. And so that is being reflected on this form as well. You can see that we've added the ability for digital signatures here. If you need to request access to the portal and you do not already have access, we need you to complete the user access form that we are using at this time. This is the address of the portal, and it's also a picture of what the front page of the portal looks like. And we're going to go through each one of these items, but I will tell you that if you look at the bottom under where it says login, it tells you there's a link for a list of items that you need to complete your CWEF application. There's a list of items that you need to complete your LGAP application. There's a link to the user access form, as well as a user access form that we have completed so that you can see what it looks like. We will have the link to this webinar there, as well as the PowerPoint presentation that we're using today. And then at the bottom, it says if you have a P or H number, you reset your password here, or if you have an M number, you can research your password with the WOLF password maintenance application. All of you will have an M ID number, so you would use the WOLF password maintenance application. When you go to log in, this is where you will enter your ID number here where it says ID, and then you will enter your password. When you get your ID, the first time you go in, you will need to use the WOLF password maintenance application to set up your password. We do not give you a password. You will go into that system and set up your password. You will set up security questions so that if you are locked out or you need to reset your password, you can do so using those security questions. If you have any difficulties accessing the system, getting in, or if your ID gets locked out, you can email me at tracy.watts@la.gov and ask that your user ID be unlocked. The email needs to come from the email address that is connected to your user ID. So when you log into the program, this is the home screen that you'll see. You can see that you have the ability to see your previously created applications. You can also see where we put the per parish allocation for 24-25 for LGAP and for CWEF here. And then to start a new application, you're going to click Add LGAP application or Add CWEF application. If you need to go back to the screen at any time during your process, you would go and click here on the home button. So once you open your application to create it, this is what you're going to see. And we're going to go through each one of these sections individually. At the top, you're going to see the name of your entity. Then you're going to click on this drop-down box and choose your population. We give you the ranges here and also your grant ceilings so that you can see how much you can apply for. You're going to be required to enter the mayor's name or parish president's name, an email address to contact to them or whomever you would like to be contacted about this application if there are questions or issues, and the phone number. You're going to choose your House and Senate district number. If you have other entities that are participating in your project, we're going to ask you to enter the names of those entities. What is an estimate of the number of citizens that will benefit from your proposed project? And then answer this question, and it's very important that you answer it correctly. Is the proposed project located on or involve publicly owned property? All of you should be answering yes, because as you see below that question, it says, please note that grant funds cannot be used for improvements on or to private property. If you answer that question that no, your project is not going to be located on publicly owned property, we will be required to deny the application. Your next section is looking at your budget for your project. You're going to enter your amounts that you're going to be requested from the program here. We give you some line items: construction cost, acquisition, engineering costs. Anything that doesn't fit into those three, you can put in other project costs. And then below, you're going to provide us a description of what those other project costs are. The totals calculate by themselves. You don't need to enter anything there. If you're going to be including other funds with the LGAP or CWEF funds to complete your project, you're going to need to identify them here by your line items or your spending categories. And then you're going to click the source of those funds, whether it's federal, private, local, or state. And then you're going to be giving us a brief project description. And that project description needs to include a detailed description of your project. Tell us how you're going to use the funds and the location of the project. If you are purchasing equipment, tell us what kind of equipment you're going to be purchasing. If you're doing water lines, tell us how many feet or miles or blocks that you're going to be working with. Give us some description of where you're doing the work. You're going to describe how the proposed project will improve health, safety, living conditions, and quality of life for the community. And you're going to list the physical address of the proposed projects. This is the section where you'll be uploading some information, some documents that have to be attached. You're going to upload your resolution of support from your governmental body. You're going to, if you see here, this blue download, that's where you're going to click to download the local government assurances form, have it signed by the chief executive officer of your local government, and then upload it back here. Then you're going to have a place to attach your House support letter and your Senate support letter. It's important to note that we go back and look through every application to ensure that you're actually attaching the correct documents. We have had some applicants attach blank pieces of paper so that they can get the application to submit if they don't have what they need, or maybe they have attached an incorrect document or used the wrong document there. As we review these applications, if we find that a document is incorrect or blank or not signed or completed correctly, we're going to reach out to the local government by that email address that you put in the beginning of this application process. And we're going to give you 48 hours to provide that document to us. If you can't do that within the 48 hours, then we're going to have to deny the application. This is if you need any further documents that you feel is important to your project, then you would upload those here. Provide a description there of what this document is, and then attach it. You do have the ability to attach multiple documents if you need to. There's also a section where you can put comments about your project that you feel we need to know. And then you see this is at the bottom. There's a save and submit, and a cancel button. It's important that you click save periodically as you go through your process. At the end, when you're ready to submit, you would click Save and Submit. Once your application is submitted, you can't make any adjustments to it. If for some reason your application does not submit, then your application will not be considered. So it's important for you to go back and click on that home screen and see that it is showing that your application is submitted when you've completed it. And we'll show that when we demonstrate the portal as well. This is a list of all of our parishes that are eligible to our program. We do have some older projects that are still remaining in Jefferson and St. Tammany, so you will see them here on this list. However, they are not eligible for new awards. We have divided these parishes amongst our staff that works on these programs, and so we want you to be able to see who is working with your parish. Colette DeSalle is working with all of the parishes on the left, And then Janice Walker is working with all the parishes on the right. And Wendy Vessel, who previously worked with parishes, she is now our program manager. You can also reach out to her if you have issues or questions as well. So now we're going to do the demonstration of the online portal. Okay, so here you can see it's the front of the screen as I showed you before. You're going to go in and put your MID, which will be the letter M and I think it's 8 numbers. Then you will enter your password. It's going to open to the home screen. You have an applicant profile. You have the log out button and the home button. You're going to see previously submitted applications here. And you will see on this one, it says status is final review, but on this one, it was just created. It was never submitted for review. We've updated the per parish allocation here. We've also included the list of eligible activities and ineligible activities so that you can review those prior to submitting your application. So you will choose what you want to work with. We can go with the CWEF application, and then it's going to open to this screen. Here is where I would choose my population. So I'm going to say I'm a town. I have 2,500 citizens, so I'm going to choose town. I'm going to enter my mayor's name. So I'm going to put James Smith, and his email address is jamessmith@sunnysidela.com. And I'm going to enter his phone number and a House district as well as a Senate district. You do have the ability to enter more than one district number if that is applicable to you. I don't actually have any other participants that are going to be working on our proposed project, so I'm not going to enter anything there. But I am going to say that my project is going to benefit my entire community. So I'm going to say that my project beneficiaries is 2,500, which is equal to my population. Is the proposed project located on or involve publicly owned property? Yes. I'm going to be working on my publicly owned infrastructure, so I'm going to answer that question as yes. So down here, since I am a town, I know that I can apply for up to $35,000, which we provide you that information here in the portal as well. And I'm going to use all of my money on construction costs. So I'm going to put $35,000 here. And then as you see, it totals under project total. I don't have any other sources of funding that I'm going to be added in there, so I don't need to complete that. But if I did, you would click on the drop-down box here and you would choose what is the source of funding. If I was going to be including engineering costs here for construction, it's important to note that you can use up to 13% for engineering, 10% can go for basic, and 3% for inspections if your project is the type of project that requires inspections, such as construction. If you're purchasing equipment, there's no need for you to have engineering fees. It would only be a project that it would be applicable for you to have engineering assistance. If I had any other costs that I needed to enter here, I would put a description of what those other costs are here in this box, but I don't have any. And then here I'm going to give a detailed description of my project and where my project is going to be located. So I'm going to say that we will be rehabbing water lines throughout the town where leaks are identified. So I'm telling you that I'm going to be working throughout my whole town. So you know that it's not a specific address. Let me correct my there. I'm telling you what we're doing. What we're doing with the money is we're rehabbing water lines. I'm not purchasing equipment. I don't need to enter that. I'm going to say, I don't know how many feet or miles I'm doing because it depends on how many I can get done with my money. But I'm telling you that we're going to go where all leaks are identified throughout the town. And then I'm going to say that the completion of this project will improve the living conditions and quality of life of our citizens. So then next I'm going to go down to my resolution of support, and I'm going to click here on choose a file. I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm just going to choose something that I have here, and it's going to add it here. Now, because I want to make sure that I'm saving and I want to go down here to this and click save. You see, it took me out of the application and back to my home screen. But you can see here that it tells me this is my CWEF application for 2025. It's in the created status. My total cost is $35,000. And the last time I was working on it was 10/23/24. So I can see all of that information here. And I can click on that application and it takes me back to where I was. You can see all of our information was saved. You can see now that where I attached the document, it says view attachment. So I can click on that and view it and make sure that I actually attached the correct document. Then here under local government assurances, I'm going to click on this download button. And it's going to give me the application, the assurances form that the local governments have to complete. It has been turned into a fillable Adobe form so that you can go in and do a digital signature, and you can also complete the information. Anytime you're working with these forms that you're going to be doing a digital signature on it, we recommend that you download the form, save it, and then open it in Adobe to go in and complete the form. Then you'll save it after it's been signed, and then go back and upload it to our application portal. So I'm going to go back over here. So once I've done that and I've saved my document, then I'm going to go in and add it. Let's see. Back here. So this is showing that we've attached documents already. I'm not sure if the system is correct about that or not. But I'm going to, each time I go in, I'm going to need to attach my documents so that I can see that everything is available, and you will go back and review your document to make sure it's the correct ones. Go back here. So once we go in, we've completed all our information. We should be able to go down here and click save and submit. But we're in the development portal right now, so I'm not getting that option. When you're in the actual portal, you're going to see those buttons at the bottom. Once you have uploaded all of your documents, you're going to click save to make sure that it's saved accurately. And then you're going to save and click save and submit, and it will come through on your home screen. You'll go back to your home screen, and it will say submitted for review under status. Now, I will also add that in the future, we're actually going to start using this portal for implementation as well. We will be doing some workshops in the future to show you how we're going to be doing that. And just as a note, one of the things that we're going to be doing is having you make sure that your applicant profile is correct, which you can do now when you go into the system. Make sure that your LGAP vendor ID is correct, your tax ID number is correct, your address is correct. And then after you have actually been awarded a grant, one of the things that you'll be doing is going in and authorizing submitters for payments, because you will be submitting them through the portal. And then anytime you want to return back to your home screen, you can click home. And when you're done, you can log out of your screen. Okay. go back here. Okay, so we're done with our online portal. Again, if you have any questions, if you have any errors or problems, you need to reach out to me and email me and let me know so that we can get it corrected. You know, technology can be difficult and sometimes not work the way we want it to work. And that's why, again, it's important for you to not wait till the last minute to go in and access the system or create your application. The other thing is, you know, we have our technology office that if you are having errors, they can go into the system and see what those errors are and what the problems are. So it's very important that you reach out to us if you're having any difficulties at all. We wouldn't want somebody to miss out on the opportunity to apply because there was an error in the system. So things that we want to reiterate to you: save often as you complete your application, upload the documents in the correct place, make sure you go back and click on that view attachment and look at your documents to ensure it's the correct one. Make sure that you're answering all your questions correctly. Read them carefully and make sure that you're answering them correctly and you're giving us all the information that we're asking for. And then check the status of your application to ensure it has been submitted. If you are unsure or uncomfortable, you are more than welcome to reach out to our office and make sure that we can see that the application has been submitted. Here is the contact information for persons in our office. I'm the director, Tracy Watts. Heather Paul is our assistant director. Wendy Vessel is our program manager. And then Janice Walker and Colette DeSales are grant representatives that work with the grants directly. I have given you their email addresses here and their phone numbers as well. So if you have any questions or issues, you can reach out to us. We encourage you to follow us on Facebook. That's the easiest, quickest way for you to get reminders about programs or notifications. Very easy to do. So we also encourage you that if you have projects that were funded through grant programs in our office, to send us pictures or success stories, because we like to highlight those on our Facebook page as well. And I just want to say thank you for being with us today, and we look forward to getting your applications and working with you through those processes.